time to tell. Even if I told you, you wouldn't understand that you and I is lost forever. Under all this emptiness, each time I try to get inside, you're on my own, no time for talking. Amelia, Amelia, how could you leave me on this way? I knew I should have stayed away. Amelia, Amelia, there's nothing more left to say. It's time to go our separate ways. They say that time is a healer. I don't believe what they say. I'm broken anyway. Ever since we parted, all this pain has started. It's never ending. Under all this emptiness, each time I try to get inside, you're on my own, no time for talking. Amelia, Amelia, how could you lead me on this way? I knew I should have stayed away. Amelia, Amelia, there's nothing more left to say. It's time to go our separate ways. Don't tell me you love me when you're sorry. It's not enough. Ooh, no. Only this time I woke and broke and free. Amelia, Amelia, how could you lead me on this way? I knew I should have stayed away. Amelia, Amelia, there's nothing more left to say. It's time to go our separate ways. Amelia, Amelia, how could you lead me on this way? I knew I should have stayed away. Amelia, 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 Amelia. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another live stream Tuesday, and a bit of an understated start there with the acoustic version of Amelia. Now, that would be called a live version if I mean, I am a bit of a stickler for keeping things absolutely correct, so it's not called a live version because I had to record myself again after performing it and singing it. I then performed it and sang it again with the second guitar part, myself harmonizing with the recording that I just made. So yeah, but nowadays that would be seen as very live indeed, because I recorded it and then recorded it again without any well, let's not get into all of that. Let's not start getting in so early into the live stream, what's live, what isn't live. Let's skip these adverts before they come in. And hello to you guys in the live chat room tonight. We have Ruth, Laurie, Angela, Sue, Melody Rocks, PM112, Ro, Mimi321, Momo, Diana, Angela Bella, Rose in there as well. And it's going through too quickly for me to be able to say the names quickly enough. So hello everybody, thank you for joining me tonight. And I mean, the health report is I've still got a little bit of this tickly cough, which is really annoying, but I think maybe in the last live stream I managed to go go, well, now that I'm tempting fate, I managed to go the whole live stream without getting into a coughing fit. So we'll see if it's going to be the same tonight or not. We will see. So I wonder if, I don't know if I'm a bit zoomed out, if I'm too zoomed out. What does the red dude say on the screen? He says, oh, 2 times. So that's where we normally are. And then we go to 1 times for when we get the guitar out. So if we get the guitar out. So let me get the names of my patrons up on screen because they make this all possible in the first place. Thank you guys. You know who you are. Without the support of my patrons, not Patreons, my patrons, yeah, I'm able to do what I do. All of the analysis videos, all of the videos I've done in the past, and all of the analysis videos as well. So thank you guys. Yeah, and I can see in the live chat room as you come through the door, if you could leave a thumbs up, that would be great, because I can see lots of people getting involved. And tonight we are aiming for 440 likes. That's what the likeometer, well, hopefully will say, but that's what the target says. So that's what we're going to be aiming for. And we are at 212 likes so far. So that is good. It's a very good start. And it means we're looking for, what, 225 more people? That's what I'm going to go with to hit the thumbs up before the end of the live stream, and we'll bust out the guitar and have a jam. And the jam for tonight will be number 256. Does that say? It's a little bit small on my screen. It is 256. So yeah, we'll see where we end up with the thumbs up, but maybe we can get a spike of the likes going on at the beginning of the live stream. And just to get up on screen, finally, the donations tab, because you don't have to donate. Just watching is great. And I know that some people can't resist donating, so I think it's important that they know between 45 and 60% goes to YouTube through the Super Chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link, which you can find in the description below. And I can see that there have already been some donations, so I will jump into those. But quickly, tonight's cover video is between Silence is Broken, which I can see is in the lead, and Miles Away. So, a bit of a Winger and Damn Yankees, I was going to say show off, but that's not really what I meant to say, was standoff. I think that's what I meant to say. Anyway, it means they're going up against each other. So we'll see. We'll see which one wins out at the end of the live stream. Usually in about 50 minutes, something like that. A little bit less than that. And as for what we're going to be talking about tonight, who knows? It's entirely random, and we'll see where the conversation takes us. But I'll look into the live chat room as well to see if any questions and things pop up there, as well as getting through the donations, of course. So, first of all, we'll go to the Super Chat window, and Sue has donated $19.99. So thank you for that, Sue. And the message is, apologies if I miss any messages. Will be popping in and out due to work, but wanted to wish everyone a fabulous live stream. So thank you for that, Sue. And oh, Diana says bears. I don't know what that refers to. Maybe that's a topic. I think we've covered bears in the live streams before, but maybe we can talk about bears. And I'm not talking about like a football team or anything like that. I'm talking about actual bears in real life. Orlando's donated $2 as well. Thank you for that, Orlando. And the message is Happy Tuesday. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Great idea there from Orlando. I guess I don't really ever say, apart from in analysis videos, during my live streams, I never really say, oh, and make sure that you subscribe. And some people are saying that kind of every 2 seconds, but you can subscribe. Now the thing is, in order to get notified for the videos, you will have to hit the notification bell, and even then sometimes it doesn't work and you get unsubscribed, and something weird that YouTube's been doing recently, but it seems to be happening less. So I'm getting less reports of people subscribing and then checking the next day to find that they're unsubscribed. But I think it seems to be turning a corner, maybe, and we will see. But fingers crossed that is okay. So yeah, you can subscribe. But if you want to make sure you get a notification for every video, then head over to patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus and become a free member over there. And then you'll get access to all of the videos, and you'll get an email notification for each of the videos as well. So you won't miss any. So thank you for that, Orlando. Orlando donated again $2 and said, nice, the Goonies t-shirt. So, yes, I have a Goonies t-shirt in black, in grey, and do I have another one? I kind of feel like I have another one, but maybe it's just those two. So, maybe just a black and grey one that I've got. Anyway, yeah, you can't have enough. Oh, I do have another Goonies t-shirt, but that's one that's never been on a live stream. And it's got Fratelli's on there, which is, well, it's designed as if Fratelli's is like a restaurant or like a cafe, and that's what it was in the movie. It wasn't that in the movie. They were pretending it was like a place where they served food to try and hide and cover up to the kids that it wasn't that at all. So anyway, yeah, I do have 3 Goonies t-shirts, but 2 that are like this, because the other one's not like this. But I've got the exact same t-shirt but in 2 colours. So anyway, that's the Goonies t-shirt background covered. And you'll be able to see in the corner over there the key from the Goonies movie that was made by the jewellery store in the place where they recorded the Goonies, and they made stuff for the cast while they were filming there, all these fancy, pirate looking things. So there you go. It's not the one they actually moved in they used in the movie. They moved in the UV. My brain, again, I don't know how it does that. Swapping the letters from a word that is miles towards the end of the sentence. I haven't even thought of the word yet. My brain knows where I'm going with my talking and decides to take the letter all the way from the end and put it at the beginning. But yeah, it's not the one from the actual movie, but it is like a replica size. As you can see when it's next to the guitar fretboard, we've got maybe, how many frets would that be? 5 or 6 frets size. So yeah, if you do want to unlock something with that, if you are remaking the Goonies, then yeah, I've got you covered. Anyway, yeah, thank you for that, Orlando. And Elaine has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that. And the message is, Auntie Elaine insists you visit your doctor. Don't want you getting worse. So thank you for that. And yeah, I don't think it's a doctor situation, because it has been getting better, but I think it's just a bit of an annoying cough that will subside at some point in the future, and it'll be all right. So Marty has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Marty. The message is, you've got me playing again. Thanks for the inspiration. So, no problem. I don't know what you've been watching of mine that has inspired you, but yeah, if anybody picks up the guitar, I do get asked quite a lot. People say, oh, is it too late to start playing the guitar? I'm 65 or something, or 70. And they say, have I left it too late? But it's never too late to pick up a guitar and start learning how to play. So yeah, I'm a big advocate of that. Just as long as you're enjoying it, that's the most important thing. And yeah, you don't want to be kind of picking it up thinking that, oh, this is like a chore, and I've got to do this and I've got to do that and I've got to do learn these scales or learn this theory and all that kind of stuff. No, it should all be about what you enjoy doing. So if you enjoy learning, then yeah, you can do that. And if you enjoy just playing, then you can do that as well. Thank you, Orlando, who has donated $2. Jeremy says, do you have a vocal routine, or do you simply wing it? I think it said. But I'll make a mental note to I'll try and make a mental note to answer that. But Orlando donated $2 and says, I recommend F1, the movie with Brad Pitt. So thank you for that. And yes, I do watch F1 when I can. It's one of those things that if you're watching the whole race, you can have it on in the background because it goes on for probably a few hours. But yeah, with the highlights, it's a little bit more difficult to keep track. It's just, if I'm doing emails and stuff at the same time, it's hard to keep track of exactly what's going on. But I do try to keep up with it. But I'm talking about real F1 now. So you've got Norris and Piastri. I think Piastri is in the lead in the championship by like 9 points or something. That's what my brain is telling me. So I do try to keep up with it. But yeah, I don't really get to keep up with much. But now and again, I will see a bit of a race and get a result. So, but yeah, the movie, I haven't seen that. But I am going to try. And I say I'm going to try. I always say I'm going to try and watch this movie. And then I never, ever get around to doing it. But I'm going to try and watch the Spinal Tap sequel at some point. I don't know whether it will be a cinema thing or maybe sometimes they release the movie at the same time in the cinema as other, download sites and, Sky Store, which we have here. So I'll have to see if it's available to download or anything like that at the same time. So anyway, yes. Oh, right. Getting back to singing and... Was it a routine or was it a warm-up? I can't remember what the question was. But my particular routine for learning to sing, I'm not singing at the moment because of this cough, because as soon as I start to kind of push my vocal a bit, it'll tickle my throat and then I'll start coughing, and I'm trying to limit my coughing fits to as few as possible. But I'll take you through to begin with. Like when I was learning to sing, I would warm up my voice probably for 10 minutes, maybe longer. And with the warm-ups, it was just slowly humming through scales and then doing lip rolls through scales. So that's when you go like that, and you get your as if you're really cold, going, and you're letting your lips do that kind of vibrate. But yeah, that's generally it's used as an exercise as well. But that's what I use to kind of warm up my voice, and then I would get into just singing scales because I very much focused on trying to hit pitches accurately. And I know that nowadays that kind of thing isn't seen as important. Because you can just use software to do it for you. But I wanted to learn how to do it. So I didn't want to have to rely on technology to make my voice sound like it doesn't sound, because I don't sing on lines all the time. So yeah, with that I'd then go through. I'd probably do maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, and that was 6 days a week. Just every evening I would do that, and that was always in my diary because I just wanted to learn how to sing. So I just made sure that I did it at the same time every day, and then had a day off. Sometimes I had 2 days off because I think that's a really important thing to factor in as well when you're learning to sing, to not overdo it too much and just do 5 or 6 days. And even in the sessions, if you're feeling like your voice is in a particular place, then you can change it as to how you're feeling on the day. But yeah, learning to sing was like that. It's like anything. You just have to do it regularly and dedicate your time to it and be strict with the practice and try and kind of learn as much as you can when you go. And in terms of performing or warming up my voice, I would tend to do maybe 10 to 15 minutes. I'd do exactly the same thing that I'd do when I was learning to sing, but then if I'm going to be singing, then it's really important to warm up your voice, or at least I think it's very important to warm up your voice, because it kind of opens up the upper range. Like when you kind of get up there to begin with, and again, everybody's voice is different, but in my case, if I've done a vocal warm up, it kind of opens up, it gives you a little bit more freedom up at the top end of your range, rather than if you just go into something, then the top end of my range, I'd be trying to push to get there. Whereas when you've kind of introduced your voice to it for maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, then you can kind of get up there a little bit more easily or a little bit more naturally. It's always difficult to sing high notes anyway, but you might as well make it as easy as you can. And certainly if I was singing very high harmony lines, then I wouldn't be able to hit notes up there without warming up my voice. It's something that I know straight away that, if I try to hit a D5 without warming up, I mean, I could probably force it out, but I think, well, I might damage my voice doing that. So I'd rather have a good warm up and then feel like, oh, right, my voice is now warm and it feels more flexible, and then I can get up to that particular note without feeling like it's going to, do any damage to my vocal cords. So yeah, warming up, really important. And that's what I do. So I'm quite strict with everything. I always have a process, and especially when I was learning to sing, I think when you do have a process, you do the same thing day in, day out, then it gives you an appreciation of where your voice is and how your voice reacts to the amount of singing you do. And I think it's a great thing to learn as much about your voice as you can, because then if you do start singing and start performing live and you have to do X amount of shows, then you can start to gauge how much to put into each show in order for your voice to last for all of the shows, rather than just doing it all on the first show and then you've burnt out your voice for 3 or 4 shows afterwards. So really important thing for me, at least. I think it's best to be really organized with it. Just do the same thing every time, because if you do the same thing, then you can start to, it's all about analysis. You can start to analyze how your voice feels and how it did on one particular day compared to another day. And then, you start to think, okay, right, so at the moment, my voice, I'm going to have to use more head voice to hit this particular A4, for example. Whereas sometimes you might feel like, oh, my voice feels like today I can hit it, in chest voice without needing to go into head voice too much. So, this is it. You'll start to get different things that you can do on different days, and different concessions you have to make. But anyway, that is that long answer to that particular question. But right, we got to Orlando's donation. I will just quickly jump into the PayPal window. Now this was being weird in terms of it was showing me that I'd seen all of the messages, but then it said there were 7 unread messages, but they were all marked as read. So I don't know what was going on. But Kevin donated £1, so thank you for that, Kevin. And the message is, I would like to wish Youngblood a happy 28th birthday. Glad he didn't join the 27 club. So thank you for that, Kevin. And Connie has donated £20, so thank you for that, Connie. And the message is, hi Phil, I think you surprised a lot of people with your Barry Manilow video. Great to learn that he is still performing live. Some people say they get energy from the crowd. He must be one of these. Peace, love and rock, Connie. So thank you for that, Connie. Yeah, this is the thing about the analysis videos, is that the data will always show you, what the voice is doing, that it's not a copied and pasted vocal from one night to the other night. And the fact that we had 3 vocals was quite good, because it means that we're covering quite a lot of data. And I did have a comment from somebody, and I don't really know what they meant, because they said, disappointing, but thanks. And I thought, disappointing, but I'm wondering if they've actually watched the video or not, or they're just assuming that I'm saying that, oh, he's definitely miming, without even taking any time to watch any of my video, where it's quite clear that in the video, as soon as we get into it, I'm pointing out that this is different, that this isn't the same audio file. So I wonder if there are people like that don't even, they just assume that every video I make is going to come to the same conclusion. But if they do think that, then, well, I would think, well, you've you've got to watch every video to see what the result is. Maybe people don't know that the result isn't always going to be the same. It's whatever the result is, whatever is happening, I'm going to point out. So yeah, that's a bit of a weird comment, because it kind of sounded like, or maybe they're disappointed because they wanted Barry Manilow to be miming or lip syncing for some reason. I don't know. But yeah, that was an interesting one to take a look at, because I think maybe a lot of people thought that, yeah, it might just be the same vocal being played back at multiple shows. For me, the most important part of it is the tempo of the band and the timing of the band. Because if you were going to go into the studio with the idea of recording multiple tracks, if you say, right, we're going to be playing in Las Vegas, we're doing multiple shows, so we need 4, 5, 6 different backing vocals, and what you'd have to do generally, I mean, you could record them, and this would be a lot of work, but it would be possible to do. You could do 4, 5, 6 different takes of the same song, but you'd have to record them at different tempos, and then the click would have to be at different tempos, so that when you're playing live, you have to sync up to the pre-recorded vocals that are also at different times, like, because they're singing along to the band. But again, now we're getting into the realms of saying that it means that the band are all pretending potentially as well, or they're all playing along to a click track for that particular backing track with the lead vocal on. Now the thing is, I mean, with my analysis videos, I can point out what's going on with the audio that we're hearing and that it doesn't match up. But if we really want to dive into the rabbit hole, then could it be the case that somebody's recording 4, 5, 6, 7 backing tracks, and all of the accompaniment is also recorded, and then on the night they play along to a click that matches the pre-recorded instrumentation, therefore the vocal will match? Is that something they could do? They could do that. I mean, I know it just sounds ridiculous that people are potentially going to go to those lengths to pretend that they're doing something live, but yeah, it is entirely possible for that to be going on. Now the thing is, with the Mariah Carey situation that we looked at, all of her performances were recorded to a click, so it meant that across, I think, a 20-year period, the particular song we were looking at was perfect because it was played to a click track, recorded to a click in the studio. So then it's just a case of, dropping out one vocal, putting in another vocal, and just mixing and matching different phrases, so that every time she was performing that song, you got a different version of the song, because they're swapping out different pre-recorded bits from the studio. So yeah, if you've done, say, 10 or 20 versions of the vocal, that means that you've got, let's say 10. You've got 10 versions of the first verse and the first half of the first verse. So then you use take 1, then you put take 10 as the second part of the verse. You can imagine how much data they're working with to swap it all over, so that it seems like everyone's getting a new, unique performance, but it really isn't. It's just taking those chunks of those 10 takes, like doing a comp take of 10 different takes and just randomizing it all, because you're going to have loads of performances that are different. But as you know, with the analysis video, we started to match things up that happened in one year from another, to another year, and that's what kind of gave it away. But anyway, yes, in that analysis it was different vocals that were going on, and because of the timing, I mean, I'd like to think that it isn't now getting to the point where they are pre-recording everything in so much detail to make sure that they've got, potentially a fake track for every night of a tour. Yeah, I don't want to believe that that is happening, but I mean, who knows? I mean, with authentic vocal in the future, who knows what happens? Because yeah, if I can start to push that out there in the future, it means that the bands and artists that have the authentic vocal logo on there, I will be making sure that I'm involved enough to know exactly what's going on, so that if they are pre-recording multiple tracks, I will know, because from their setup, I'll know exactly what's going on. Because I'll say, what's this feed? Where's this feed coming from? And where's it going to? And why is it going straight into the mixer? Why is it going into the singer's in-ear monitors? What is this feed? It was great chatting with Jeff the other week, because Jeff Scott Soto, because he had loads of stories about this kind of thing, about backing tracks and fake vocals and how they were getting them into the mixer, and kind of not telling anybody that it was going on, and which track the actual vocal was on and which track the actual backing track vocal was on, which of course is going to be perfect, and the way that they faded in one and faded out the other, and it's just a constant thing throughout the show, so that the show sounds perfect. But then if you just muted the actual mic sound, he said it was absolutely a disaster, but for the crowd it sounded amazing, because of mixing in that pre-recorded vocal. So a lot of stuff goes on, but with that situation with authentic vocal, all of that kind of stuff, if it's a big show, and I'm saying that everything is totally unique for that particular night and totally authentic, then I'll make sure that I do everything in my power to know exactly what's going on. I don't want to believe that people are doing multiple tracks for multiple dates in advance, because they're so scared of actually doing it live, or they don't want to do it live. But if it is going on, then I'll get to the bottom of it in the future. So anyway, I can see that Kyrie Eleison has donated $5, so thank you for that. And the message is, what are your future plans for authentic vocal? I am excited for more videos. So thank you for that. And at the moment, I think because of a few months ago, everything kind of ground to a halt, because I had to really focus on this YouTube channel, and the fact that people were getting unsubscribed, and it just took ages to try and sort it all out. And then recently I've had to restock with my album, which has taken ages, because I had to redesign the album cover from scratch, which I had to redesign it from scratch to be exactly the same as how it was before. And I think I've just about done it, but it took ages to do that. So that's kind of taken all of my focus recently. But my plan is, what I would like to do in an ideal world, and I might chat to Jeff about this, because Jeff knows everybody, but also I met Adam, which is Lita Ford's manager, and he manages other bands as well. So I think there are contacts there where we could start to introduce it. I would like, ideally, to introduce it into the industry as a whole, rather than looking at a video that somebody says, can you check out if this is an authentic vocal or not? And then I just say yes or no. I would rather it be that in the future, rather than people having to ask me, they will know what they're watching is authentic, because it's already got the logo on there. So that's I'm going to have to branch out in the future. It's just having the time to do all of this. But I'll probably send Jeff a message about maybe pushing it out, and I know, saying getting it out into the industry. Obviously, there are some major labels that won't want it as part of the industry, because they like the fact that they can say a singer or a band are performing live. They like to say that because they know that they can say that when the singer isn't singing. because performing covers moving. It doesn't cover singing. So when they say, oh, this is a fully live performance, what they're saying, is not that it's a live vocal. So to have something that's clear, so that now when they say, oh, it's a fully live performance, and people might then say, but why isn't the Authentic Vocal logo on there? Then it'll be obvious that they're just saying, oh, they're moving around and they're moving around live, but you're not actually going to hear people singing. That's all been pre-recorded. So this is it. I think a part of it is going to be me potentially just approaching bands that I've met over the last few years and just saying to them if they want to, because this is the thing, that the bands that I've met over the last few years, they are all genuinely doing it. So I know that I can say to them, would you like to be covered by Authentic Vocal for these shows or for this show? It might even start just with one show in the future, just to start rolling it out there. But the more I think about it, the more I think, well, it is a full-time project that Authentic Vocal, it's like a business in its own right. And because it's me doing everything, and I do everything here, and I do my graphic design and everything, and logos for my CD and sorting all that out, I do everything myself, so it means it takes me quite a while to get there. But I think the problem is that, especially with Authentic Vocal, it's got to be me doing it, because if I start handing it over to somebody else to be in charge of authenticating a live performance, I think, well, they haven't got almost 10 years experience that I have seeing what a live vocal is and being able to independently verify and look at the data as to what is live and what isn't live. So anyway, Melody Rock says, what about the email campaign? Was that working? So thank you for that. And the email campaign, I think we did it for a few weeks, but like I said, it all kind of ground to a halt because I had to focus on getting everything right here on this channel. And I don't know whether that I didn't hear anything back from the email campaign, but I think what needs to happen is, rather than just randomly emailing and saying something like, oh, you got to check this out, it's got to be something that is potentially newsworthy of a band, maybe being the first band to have their performance authenticated and put on their tickets that they're genuinely doing it live. Because that's now maybe a story, rather than just saying, oh, check out this. Because then the people say, well, okay, but so what? So it's got to be that potential story of having a first band to ever be, basically telling their audience that we're going to be doing it fully live, and here's the proof that we are going to be doing it fully live because we've been independently verified by Authentic Vocal. So I think getting back to the email campaign, I'd like to have something tangible that people could at least put in their emails that people might be interested on reporting on, because if there's nothing really to report on, then there's no incentive for people to feature it or get in touch. So yes, thank you for that and the donations. Right, let's have a quick check in on the cover video for tonight. It is Silence is Broken with 54% of the vote so far, and relatively close, miles away. I think I don't know, Silence is Broken might win out. We still got a bit of time left, so if you want to hear Miles Away, make sure that you vote for that at the top of the live chat room. And right, what else? I don't know why this comment just popped into my head, but it's not really a troll corner thing, but it pretty much is related to when somebody's talking in the comment section about a particular video or something that I'm saying about somebody's voice, and they're saying that, oh, I've been doing this for a very long time, and what you're saying is wrong because, this and this and this. And this was about Michael Jackson's voice, where I'm looking at Michael Jackson's voice, and comparing his voice when he was a kid to then when he was an adult. And I say that when he was a kid, he had a slower, wider vibrato that seemed like it was more under control. But then when he got older, he started to make that vibrato a lot quicker, and he mixed it with air. So you kind of get a tremolo sound. And this person was saying that Michael Jackson didn't do vibrato, he did tremolo. And that was it. And this person was, I think trying to speak from some kind of level of authority, or saying that they're a vocal coach, or that they've been doing it for years. And the problem is that if you're looking at tremolo on the pitch monitoring software, tremolo is when it's kind of like the Bee Gees, but again, even Barry Gibb with his vibrato, there was that little bit of vibrato in there as well. So it wasn't just all like and having air there, because if you have that on the pitch monitoring software, you'll see the line with gaps between, because it's silence going and it will plot it like that. Whereas when you start going there is vibrato in there. It's a blend of like that. That note is changing, and now with air, so it's a blend of the two. And that is undoubtedly what Michael Jackson did with his voice. But this person, and I couldn't be bothered to type out to explain that on the pitch monitoring software, because I think it's getting to the point now where if people don't know, I can't spend my life trying to explain it to people that don't know, because there are quite a lot of people, and they should know better if they're saying that they do it professionally or something like that. But if it was purely tremolo, you would see gaps between the lines, because it goes from note to silence to note to silence to note to silence. If it's a continued wave of pitch, which in the analysis video it clearly is, you can see it on screen, Michael's voice going up and down, with the pitch. But he has air in there as well, but he's got that movement in pitch. So the fact that they said, oh no, he doesn't do that, it's purely tremolo, it's like, well, literally the pitch monitoring software is contradicting you, and that it hasn't got an agenda, it's just plotting what it's hearing, which is a continuous note that is changing pitch. Therefore, it is vibrato. So, I don't know, I thought of that. But anyway, all right, we've got another donation. This is Jennifer, who has donated $7. Thank you for that. And it says, Phil, Jeremy wants to know if you think the current lip sync epidemic is related to over touring. Some artists are doing world tours, 3-hour shows. So thank you for that. And I mean, I would say that it's probably a combination of things. The first thing is, of course, record labels are going to make the bands and artists work as hard as they humanly can, because it means they'll make more money. So, they'll book as many tour dates as possible, and it might mean that, this is what I said about the video on the very famous artist who said, oh, yeah, but she's touring and she's doing 3.5-hour shows. So I'd like to see you do that. And then I replied saying, if I'm miming for 3.5 hours, trust me, I could do it. I could do a show for 8 hours miming, maybe even 10 hours miming, maybe even 24 hours miming, but then I'd have to sleep. But if you're not singing, then it doesn't matter how long the show is, because you're not doing it. So you just have to make sure that you stand upright, and then you'll be fine. So anyway, you've got that part of it, that record labels want to push artists and bands as much as they can, and therefore they might say, right, we're doing 6 shows this week or 7 shows this week, and you're going to be miming along. And some artists will do that, and some artists yeah, I guess don't care, because it's all about I don't know, that the fame, and it might not be something that they particularly mind sacrificing that kind of honesty and integrity for whatever they do, whatever they get from, you know, from miming. Because I don't know, for me personally, I wouldn't find it rewarding in any way to know that I'm misleading people, but everybody's different. So you've got that side of it, and yeah, they've signed record deals, so it means that they've signed over their lives essentially to the record label, so the record label can do what they want with them, and by contract they've got to fulfill everything that they've said that they will in that contract, which is usually ridiculous for major labels and recording contracts. But anyway, yeah, so that's that. And the second point really is still part of that, that the reason potentially there's so much of it going around now is that artists don't care as much. Like back in the day, artists were artists, so it means that they were going to go and do what they did, and if there was anything that was going to get in the way of their authenticity, then they would not do it. And this is like yeah, well, it is something that I referred to in a video, but when we look back at videos that are from, say, 1960, 1970, 1980, where on TV shows they had to mime sometimes. There were a lot of TV shows where that was going on, but because the artist or the band didn't agree with it, they did something stupid so that everybody knew that they weren't performing live. Whereas now it's kind of flipped over, where everyone's now trying to pretend that they are doing it live when in fact they're not doing it live. So that artistic integrity part of it, of being embarrassed that you're not actually doing it, that seems to be on, I'd say, the decline, because a lot of singers and bands aren't really that bothered about now pretending. And if anything, is getting to the point where especially record labels are saying, well, how can we get away with not doing this? And how can we get away with doing the minimal amount of work and still sell tickets for the same amount of money? And that's what it all boils down to. Like, if they can get an artist to do 7 shows a week and they're charging £500 a ticket, if the artist and the band then says, oh, but no, we want to actually do it fully live, then the record label will say, okay, well, how many shows can you do? And they say, well, if we're doing it fully live, we'll do 4 or 5 a week, because we need to rest because we're doing it fully live. Of course, the record label is going to say, well, these other people who don't really care that much, they will mime for 7 days for £500 a ticket, so we're going to sign them and we're going to drop you. And that's the problem. It's just about making money at the end of the day. But again, I think at some point in the future, hopefully in a perfect world, will be linked with authentic vocal. At some point in the future, there'll be a fork in the road where you've got artists who don't care about miming and lip syncing and are out just to make as much money as possible for the record label. And then you've got other artists who are doing less shows, but what they're doing is genuinely live. And if that were public knowledge of who was doing it and who wasn't doing it, then yeah, some people could go and choose to watch that other act if they want to. It's their own choice. But would people start demanding lower ticket prices for the people that weren't doing it live? And would they be happy paying more to actually watch a live show? Because personally, I would pay more to watch something that's fully live than go and watch somebody walk around the stage and pretend to sing. So yeah, I mean, I think that would be interesting, but also great for people to know what they're paying their money for. Because if people say, oh, we're going to be miming tomorrow night, come and watch us, and it's £500 a ticket, people might say, yeah, but you're not doing anything. So how can you justify that money for not doing anything? Because this other band, they're genuinely doing it and they're charging £200 a ticket. And this is it. The ridiculousness of the industry might then be laid bare, and everyone would realize that, yeah, you can potentially spend thousands of dollars on a ticket that is for something that isn't actually live. So yeah, anyway, yeah, we'll see what happens in the future, but yeah, that's all yet to come with that. And I'll have to see, because I'm thinking with Authentic Vocal about, because we've got the separate YouTube channel, and yeah, because everything's on hold there for the moment, I'm thinking about maybe integrating it more into this channel so that people start to know about it a little bit more, and for people to understand exactly what's going on, and that it is myself that's doing it, because I know that some people checking out Authentic Vocal as an entity might not necessarily know just from the logo that it's me doing it. Oh, and that's the other thing. Maybe, with the merchandise, I have set it up, and I think it's still pending for some reason. So I can't get the store on YouTube at the moment, but I'll chase it up with the person at the company in order to try and organize it. But I'm thinking whether it's going to be better to put the Authentic Vocal merch on this channel, so it's then linked and more people might know about it, and yeah, we could spread the word. And what I'm talking about is, I haven't done it yet, but merchandise that has the Authentic Vocal logo on there on a hoodie, so people can walk around getting this logo out there, so then people might start to know what it's all about. And if you do watch the channel and somebody asks about it, you can say, oh, this is a logo that signifies that somebody's actually singing when you go and watch them live, because yeah, that would be good to have. But again, that's another thing that I've got to do on my to-do list, is sorting out the merchandise. Just the new merch store, which is, I think, up and running, but it isn't available on YouTube yet. And yeah, the Authentic Vocal stuff that I might put on this channel as well. So anyway, let's get back into the PayPal window, because there's been a donation in there. And this is Jamie, who has donated £10, so thank you for that. And the message is, hi, greetings from Sweden. I just came back home from Gothenburg, where I went to the AC/DC concert. I'm sure the band played live, but the vocals sounded way too perfect to be real. Hope you will be digging into their tour in the future. So thank you for that. And yeah, for anybody wanting to make a request for a future analysis video, you can do that to requests@wingsofpegasus.com. And it does help if, like, say for example, somebody does say, oh, I want you to check out AC/DC on their tour. Then if you can send me a link to a particular song that you want me to compare from one night to the next night and then to another night, then yeah, I can do that. What I don't do generally myself is start going and searching out my own, videos of particular nights and all that kind of stuff, because every video that I make is a request. So say for example with the Air Supply video that we did, where we compared different performances, somebody sent through a request, and in that message they had links to the videos so that I knew exactly what they were asking me to compare. So yeah, if you want to send that through, then that would obviously help me out a lot, because it is still a little bit open-ended. If somebody says, oh, check out this band, and just check it out, there's got to be a particular song I'm looking at, and that's how it's pretty much always been for the analysis videos. So I can't really jump into something that is vague as to what people want me to look at. So yeah, but I'm more than happy to compare lots of different performances from one to the next that I'm linked to. But anyway, yes, right, we are going to be jumping into, I believe, and where are we at? Well, right, 389 likes. So I'm going to have to give a bit of a notice. If you can hit the thumbs up, that would be very much appreciated, because we're looking for 49 more people, and somebody's just done a double click, but 49 more people to hit the thumbs up before the end of the live stream. Then we'll bust out the guitar and have Phil Jam number 256. So 42 more people now. We'll see where we end up with it. But by the way, The fill jam for tonight is 8 minutes and 27 seconds. So that means that we really need a spike of the likes to get this done before, ideally, the end. Oh, we've got Picture Corner as well, before the end of the cover video. So let's bring this to a close. And it is going to be Silence is Broken for tonight. And let me just make sure. Oh, here's YouTube with its amazing maths again. Silence is Broken, 51% of the vote. Miles Away, 47%. I don't know where the other, percent or 2% has disappeared to. Yeah, it should be like, technically 48 is as low as it should ever get, because it might be 51.5. So then it'll be like, 48.5. So having 51 and 47 doesn't make sense on any level, but we'll trust the result and we'll jump into my version of Silence is Broken, the Damn Yankees classic, and I'll see you guys after this. Rock! Hi guys, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus, and this is my first ever cover video on Patreon. The song is Silence is Broken by Damn Yankees, and thanks everyone for your support, and I hope you like the video. See you later. Rock!
Close your eyes and know it's safe inside to sing your lullaby. Broke the chains, now you won't be silent anymore. Oh no, now you're gonna shout about it. No, no more. Yeah, yeah, this is the end. The silence is broken. It's over now. Words have been spoken. With every word you say, you blow away the tears of another time. Face to face, anyone can see you're not the child you were before. Take your place. No one can take away your heart. Oh no, there can be no doubt about it. No, no more. Yeah, yeah, this is the end. Silence is broken now. It's over now. Words have been spoken. With every word you say, you blow away. Yeah. Never again. Say the words and let the sun shine in again. You can change the world. No one can take away your heart. The silence is broken now. It's over now. The words have been spoken. With every word you say, you blow away the tears of another time. Silence is broken now.
And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We haven't heard that one in a while. So, yeah, that was my version of Silence is Broken. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And where are we looking for 10 people? So, this is a race against time. We've got not very long at all, probably a couple of minutes to get 10 thumbs up. So if you haven't hit that thumbs up yet, it'd be very much appreciated if you could do that. Then we'll bust out the guitar, have a jam to fill jam number 256, whatever that backing track is going to be. We are going to be jumping into Picture Corner as well. So a couple of pictures for tonight. The first one, oh, they're both related. Oh, it's all off to the side, so let me try and grab this so that it now goes into the middle of the screen a little bit more, like that. So yeah, these are related. The message is, my Wings of Pegasus hoodie is making rounds this summer. We just saw Kansas perform at the Clark County Fair in Washington State Sunday evening. And that's from Nikki, by the way. And oh, let me see the other picture. So here we go as well. So this is these are both together. So yeah, Nikki enjoying a little bit of Kansas. But thank you, Laura, for linking me to that as well. And that is Picture Corner for tonight. So just those couple of pictures. Right, let's get rid of that. And we're looking for 4 people. 4 more people. So, and oh, Painless says, can you tell me the key of the backing track you're going to jam in? I want to try to jam along. I don't know the key, and this is very much the point that sometimes if the key isn't in the description of the video, is very much the point of jamming over anything. And basically the way that I approach playing lead guitar is that, yeah, just singing through the guitar, whatever's playing, you know, I think that you should be able to really just sing along in your head and therefore sing along through the guitar over the top of whatever's going on. So I don't know the key yet, but it'll most likely be in the description. I think backing tracks especially don't tend to just write a title and not give people the key, because everybody, I say everybody, most people really need to know the key, because then they know where to put their fingers. But this is my, I guess my whole argument, but my ethos is that because music is sound, you should be able to make the same sound. You don't really need to know where to put your fingers ahead of time, because you're just making the same sound as the sound that you're hearing. So with that said, we have just passed the likes goal, total of 440. So let's turn on the microphone and skip the ads, grab the guitar, zoom out, red dude, there he is. Right, so that is that. Oh, okay, that is that is on. So right, let's click on this. But I do always say the title of the track and
Imagine
where
being
it's coming from. Oh, let me mute that. Let's get past the advert. So this is, let me skip that. This is deep, suspenseful, melodic rock backing track in E minor. There you go. So it's giving it to you in the title. And this is from YT Jam Tracks, YT capital letters. And as for the levels, I do not know how it's going to sound. So if you can let me know in the live chat room, that would be good. And Diamond Gold donated $2 and says awesome. So thank you for that. Let me jump into this. Press play. Okay, I can hear it, which is good. And there we have it. Quick, stop. Okay. And that was deep, suspenseful, melodic rock backing track in E minor from YT Jam Tracks. And that's YT in capital letters. So, there we have it. Now, it's always the case that towards the end of the video, I'm not sure, I can kind of see where the red line is, but on a very long video, it's quite near the end. I don't know when it's going to finish or not. And it could be a sudden ending. So, you're kind of playing, but kind of stopping playing, not really sure when it's going to end. But there we have it. That was tonight's Phil Jam number 256. So thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up and ensuring that we had a Phil Jam for tonight. And if you're watching this in the future on catch up, then you can hit the thumbs up. It all helps the live stream to get out there a little bit more, but also for the channel to grow on the whole. And I think we are up to date with everything. So I'm going to be here with another video tomorrow night. Live streaming Saturday night, of course, 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So that's where I will be. If you're free to join me as well, it would be much appreciated because I'll need your thumbs up to have a jam on Saturday as well. But all that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Rock!